Hey guys, Kyle back here again for video number at least 3, maybe 4, depending on the way they upload. For sure 3 or 4 though. As promised in the first video that I put up before this one and before the last one, obviously, I went to Hobby Lobby. I went up north to Hobby Lobby, is the closest one I could find, and I picked up some kits, and I got great deals on all 3 of them. And I said I'd do reviews on all 3. So before you have, if I can get it in the entire screen here, I can't. AMT's 2016 release of the American La France Aero Chief. This kit is huge. I'll do a pan here of the parts that I have in front of you, and also show you that there's still about 17 sprues of plastic in the box. And this table's like 5.5 feet long. So we'll start right over there. We got the start of everything, and it goes all the way down there, and that's still not everything. So we'll go from left to right, and then I will pull out the other sprues as I go. And once all these have been gone through, I'll go through those. A lot of parts in this kit. It doesn't say anywhere on the box, but I did look it up. There's over 300 parts, nearly 400, over 100 of which are chrome plated. So this kit is definitely a big kit. By far the biggest kit I've ever purchased, or wanted to purchase, or frankly the biggest kit I've ever even seen. So, we'll start from left to right. Our cab. I'll pan over here just a little bit to get a little less background image. It's got American La France on the front there. I don't know if it's La France or La France. I think it's fun to say it like La France, so we'll go with that. Pretty heavy mold line sitting on the side there. The back is open. I'm not sure if there's a cab back in here somewhere, or if the back of the truck just butts up to it. Excuse me. A little bit of flash here and there, nothing extremely major. Some of the parts that we go through will have quite a bit more flash than others, but hey, it's AMT and it's obviously a re-release. Next sprue we'll go through has a couple of the ladders on it. And forgive me if I say the wrong parts. I'm not familiar with fire trucks or semis in general, so kind of just go through, and if I know what it is, I'll say what it is. If I don't know what it is, I'll try to say what it is and fail. We have part of the exhaust here. The other chunk is right down here. It fell off the sprue. AMT seems to be known for things falling off their sprues. We'll go back here. I can only guess that these are the frame rails. I know enough about vehicles to know that this would be the frame. The rivet detail is pretty good. Really good, actually. Flash is pretty lacking, I'd say. There's not any flash on the frame rails that I can see. Maybe a little bit at the very end, but other than that, they're really clean. Sink marks, injector pin marks, all that stuff's on the inside where you won't see it much. And actually, hopefully my phone will focus. It's got brake lines or air lines. I would assume the brakes are air brakes anyway. So I'd say air lines running through the inner frame rails, which in and of itself is pretty darn cool. Granted, you probably won't be able to see it, although the the cab and the, I'm going to call it a ladder box because I don't know what else to call it. They lift off the frame just so you can see all the frame detail. Here's some more parts for the ladder that extends off the back of the truck. And again, on this is more parts for said assembly. Diamond plate detail is phenomenal, in my opinion. A little bit of flash here and there, nothing extremely major yet. I believe that's either a winch or that's for a hose, most likely for a hose. Couple more loose parts here. Not entirely sure what they are. I know this is an outrigger. It does have operational outriggers on the back of the truck, which I thought was pretty cool. Now we're moving on to some pieces of the box that holds the ladder. Again, unsure of the term, but that's what I'll call it. Multiple pieces, actually. There's quite a few more sprues that contain pieces for it. I apologize for the length of this video, but the amount of parts, there's no way I could do it in any less time. So we got detailed doors. You can even see me in the reflection a little bit there, but once that's washed up, that'll change. Ejector pin marks on the back. I don't know if they'll be in the way, but this one at least is very, very predominant. There's a couple more on there that aren't as visible, but that one is very visible. This is the top of the ladder box. Diamond plate detail again, in my opinion, looks great. Little to no flash on this piece as well. Excuse me. Several more ladders on this sprue, and you can see there's a decent amount of flash on here. Nothing that's impossible to clean up, but just a little bit of a hassle. And then there's the outrigger assemblies, one of which obviously I showed you a little bit ago has fallen off. And I'm assuming these are more pieces for the ladder box that I've been referring to. Maybe pieces that are the back of the cab, I'm not quite sure. Move you back over this way, and we'll stay right over there. The engine and transmission assembly is actually, I'm very surprised, it's pretty detailed. Quite a bit of flash on the engine sprue as well. Nothing that can't be cleaned up, just obviously a little bit of a hassle. Nice detail on the fan and everything. Here we have a couple rims, fenders, radiator parts, hoses, and some frame parts as well. Another sprue of ladders. I believe it said there are 13 ladders in this kit. Not sure why, but there are 13 ladders. Some more frame pieces, I'm assuming, and then some more pieces for the ladder box that I keep referring to. Move a couple sprues down here, take a couple more out. Got a couple more rims here. They're multi-piece, which I thought is really cool. You can see there's pretty good detail in there if I can get enough light in there. And then you got your brake drum assemblies that have detail on them as well. Then we have the top of the dash and the steering wheel on this sprue. I believe that's just a broken off chunk of another sprue. Interior tub, diamond plate floor, details molded in, door panels are molded in. Try to get a little bit more focused in there. Take some more screws out. You got front and rear axles on here, some air tanks, battery boxes, shocks, some more suspension parts, things of that nature. And then since we're in the area, we'll talk about the tires. Let's see if I can get any more light in there. Firestone tires, branded on both sides. I wish there was a little more light here, guys. I apologize about that. 6 in total, along with a metal axle for the rear end. And moving on to the 2 largest sprues in the entire kit. They're for, I can't even get them on. No, I guess I can. They're for the ladder. It actually does extend and move on the kit, and it says it's over 3 feet long. Not much detail here. Not that there really should be, it's just a smooth surface. And here's the second piece. A little more detail on this one. This is the top where it holds the bucket. And I believe these would be like the water hoses that go along it. Things of that nature. And then the last couple part sprues here. Got a couple more interior pieces, seats and such. Another rim. They're really spread out, which is really strange, but got the rear suspension, front suspension on that sprue. Some more parts for the ladder, I'm assuming, maybe even the back of the truck. This is probably the basket, actually, because there's the top railings and the side railings. And there's a little saw in there. And then on the last white part sprue, have more pieces for the ladder. Pivot points here, the base here, and just a bunch of other small little parts that I couldn't even try to name. We'll move on to the glass. One of the pieces did fall off in my case, but it's in great shape. No scratches or anything of that sort. And then it does come with red and amber clear parts. Now we'll move on to the chrome. Like I mentioned before, over 100 pieces of chrome in this kit. Four sprues total of just chrome. So we'll look at all this diamond plated chrome. Looks pretty good. Again, no idea what the majority of this stuff is, so I'll just let you look at it. There are sink marks on the back. Most likely won't be seen. Bunch of small little chrome parts and trinkets and good stuff that goes on the inside and the outside. Details great on those too. Some more diamond plated chrome parts. Rivet details also good on those. And the last sprue in this entire kit is just loaded with chrome. Front and rear bumpers, steps, beauty rings for the wheels, there's some horns on there. I'm assuming these are for mirrors, hubcaps, valve covers, maybe some intake parts, just all kinds of cool chrome bits. And then last but not least, we have the instructions, the decals, and the paint to match guide. The instructions themselves are, I'll try to do this without getting in the way too much, it's a book. It is entirely a book. I won't go through it step by step, but I'll just show you how big these instructions really are. It's pretty detailed instructions. I'm glad to see that. But you can just see how much is actually going to go into this kit. There's some of the cab. And then here's they refer to it as a deck. So what I've been calling a box assembly is what they refer to as a deck. And then we'll go with their decals. Gives you the alphabet multiple times. You can customize it your own way. Or you can just do the Troy, Michigan Fire Department. It's got all the truck numbers. There's also St. Joseph Fire Department, City of Troy, a couple license plates and things like that. Then you have your paint to match guide with all the colors that you'd need if you wanted to put it, sorry for hitting the tripod, if you want to make it look just like the box. So again, that's been the review of AMT's Aero Chief, made in 2006 or 2016, not 2006. My apologies. I apologize for the length of this video, but like I said a little bit earlier, there are so many parts in here I could not make it any shorter. I probably could have stopped rambling on so much, but who cares? It's my video, so I'll do what I want. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And keep a lookout for the next review, which will be whichever kit I choose it to be, depending on how they upload, which order they upload in. So, have a good day, good night, depending on where you are. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you like the review. Let me know if you have any questions, anything like that. And have a good one. Thanks.